Like, love and share Cork Live TV.
Good evening and welcome to Cork Live. I'm your host, Shinhayes. Now, to continue the momentum of last week's show, please continue to like, love and share these videos, because last week was a huge success, girls, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, our guests tonight we'll be Pat Walker, we have Sarah Burke and we have Natasha Crowley. Good evening, girls.
Good evening.
You're all gone very quiet and very shy all of a sudden.
Not for long.
Not for long. Pat, we had a huge response on your mental health piece last week, and of course the part about your golden circle.
The golden circle, yeah. It's very, very good advice, and anyone out there, I would highly recommend it. And another thing, Sinead, outside of your golden circle, for those that did miss it last week, I attended a lot of counselling a few years ago, and it was intense counselling, and it's about people in your life really. And if they have a negative influence on the life, you have the golden circle, you invite people into that golden circle, and if they're not worthy, you ask them to leave that circle. So it's your choice who you bring in. Keep it small, keep it tight, but bring them in. They'll have a positive influence on your life, and it does change your life going forward.
Of course.
You know, and there's another thing as well that they talk about is personal power. And we're all very guilty of giving our personal power away to other people. And I'll just give you an example. If you're in a group of friends and you feel that you're nothing, I suppose, really without your friends or without any particular one or two people, this is just an example, they should not be in your circle. If you feel you can't survive without a friend, there's something wrong. If you feel you can't function, oh, this person, I need this person for this, I need this person, but I need that person, your personal power has been taken by that person. So it's time to shake it up, have a look around, refresh, renew, and move forward.
That's great advice.
You know?
Yeah. Sound advice. And Sarah, you had a fantastic week as well since our last show.
We did, yeah, I know we did. There was great feedback on the show, and even I said I took a lot from Pat the last time as well. And even
think we all did.
Now, I'm like, yeah, you know, she talks a lot of sense. But yeah, no, there was loads of feedback from the show.
No, you also got, I suppose, a bit of a backlash to a degree as regards Slimming World.
The Slimming World, yeah. So during the week, there was a discussion about Slimming World online, and then it was on the radio as well. And I always say, just because I'm a consultant doesn't mean that that's the only place to lose weight. It's what works for you, works for you.
Choice.
It's a choice at the end of the day,
course.
and it takes, you know, some people love the gym, some people do other things, but it's what works for you, and that's what you do. But there was fierce backlash, and I just got calls and calls from members saying, you know, Sarah, go on. And I said, okay, so I went on air and I spoke about it. And again, it's just a case of if you haven't tried it, don't knock it. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm like that with everything.
True.
I attend a gym, I don't do their diet, but I don't go knocking the fact that people do follow that diet.
Of course.
So I suppose what I went on was just to clear up the fact that Slimming World does work. It's 3 steps. And it's not.
Well, you're a testament to that now, to be fair.
Well,
Sarah.
Not the last few weeks, but
just to recap, Sarah was 18 stone.
1, yeah.
80. Oh, we can't forget that 1 pound. She was 18 stone 1.
Yeah, starting out. So I just wanted to let people see that it's not that you can have you can't eat everything. Everything that we eat is on the plan. It's up to you how much of it you eat.
No, that was another thing that came up as well, was SINS, spelled SYNS. And that's part of the Slimming World
There's just
journey.
A stigma attached to it that it's a bad thing, and that it's. And I think even when I started out, I was saying sins. You'd nearly feel bad having them. But I think
it's the opposite with Slimming World. You look forward to your sins.
Yeah. At night time, you're like, yes, I've no sins left. If anyone watched today, I was traumatized because I've used my sins, and I'm like, I've no sins left. But yeah, there is a stigma attached to it, but people don't understand what they're for. So sins are foods that will cause harm to your weight loss. They're the foods that we love, and they're the foods that cause weight gain. So the way the plan works is that you fill up on your free foods that won't harm your losses. You get a weighed and measured healthy extra, A and B, so that you're controlling your fibre intake and all that kind of stuff into your body, and it works. And then the sins are just that you don't feel guilty and that you can have your bar of chocolate or your bag of crisps or your glass of wine or whatever it is without feeling the guilt. Because what happens is normally if you have one glass of wine and you're only having one glass of wine, all of a sudden it's like, sure, I'm not having one, I might as well have the bottle. Whereas if you just have the one glass of wine and you've known you're winning your sin allowance and move forward to the next day, you know that you can still lose weight by doing that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just think with sins, people like, and even there was social media about it during the week about people, you know, saying that allowing someone to have sins, that's a bad thing. Sins, it's not, it stands for synergy. That's what it is, and it helps your body to,
well, I actually didn't realise that that's what it stood for.
That's what it stands for, synergy. That's what it is, and it's like the synergy of your body, or whatever the case it is.
Well, that makes more sense now to me.
So it's just and they just shortened it to sins.
Yeah.
But there is a stigma attached to it. But I use, and people say, you know, should you not use your sins? Or I use my sins every day, like every day. I still manage to lose weight.
Well, I heard at your meetings, I heard you speak and say, use your sins.
But it's
don't feel
the final part of
deprived.
the plan, do you know? And I suppose it's a good opportunity now to explain to people that it's the smallest part, and that the whole point of it is to fill up on free foods. And not because during the week on the radio they were saying that it was cups of porridge and cups of fruit. Everyone that follows me will know I don't eat cups of porridge and cups of fruit. You know what I mean? Free food is filling up on food that you enjoy, and at the whole point of the plan, at the end of the day, is to satisfy your appetite, not mine, not Marianne down the road. Whatever you like to eat, that's what you're eating. And that's how you lose weight, is being happy. It's not even about the food, it's about enjoying it, and, you know, not feeling that you're on a diet or that you have to go to somewhere where no one has to go. You should want to go.
Doesn't it make sense, sorry, no Sarah, but doesn't it make sense that if somebody wants to lose weight going forward, thinking long term,
and that's what
you
I
have
say,
to have treats.
You do, you
There
do.
is
And that's
no one
training the way you eat, like,
Or as you keep saying, you have to live.
you have to. Oh, if I want to make you laugh,
That's
like,
the
make
word,
you
you
laugh.
have to live.
if you deprive, I know for me, if I'm like, I'm so good, I'm like depriving myself, and then you blow out,
And then it's
it's
the
like,
worst
and
thing
I'm
you can
off the
do.
wagon.
Whereas I'd be the
Yeah.
opposite. If I have something, I'll enjoy every little bit of it, and I will tell people, I'll tell followers, members, the whole lot. Oh, I was in, you know, I use it when you remember talk, you know, a sachet of mayo, like the sachet you get in the restaurant, it's 5 sins. You get 15 a day.
Yeah.
If I go to Peri in Blackpool,
See,
I
I
get
would do
5 or
without
6.
that, but I would do without that even one to save the 15.
I wouldn't, but I'd be honest, and I'd tell people that I'd have, I wouldn't lie about it, but in turn, I wouldn't be that kind before, where I would have been good all week long, chicken, broccoli, and then all of a sudden I was eating 6 takeaways at the weekend, and it didn't work. Do you know what I mean? It's not a balance. But the fact that you said life is for living, I do say that all the time.
A lot.
My mom said yesterday.
You have to live.
No, Saturday, I know she's watching. She said the other day, I rang her. She was after putting up weight. She said,
Hi, Tina.
Hi, Tina. She said, I'm all over it now. Go down next Wednesday, all motivated in group, and where everyone was clapping for and everything. And then she FaceTimed me on Saturday night out. I was like, you said you were going to be good. She said, you said life is for living. I said, you're living since you started. I said, you're living since the day you started. They were laughing. But it is. And look, at the end of the day, it's not that, and I wanted to get that across, it's not that because I'm a consultant that you have to do Cinnamon World, because someone might just like Cinnamon World. Someone might just like the chicken and broccoli and the rice cake. Someone might just, everyone is different. It's whatever works for you, then go do it. Do you know what I mean?
Of course. But there is a huge misconception with that word.
With the sins, and it's not a bad thing. And I was that kind before at the start, where I'd use my 15 sins and then bite my nails, go, I have nothing to eat. There's so much more to the plan than just sins.
Because I met a friend of mine, Paula, at an event recently, and we were chatting. You know, she's mad into the health and fitness, and she runs a lot. And she said, "Oh, I don't like the idea of sins at all." She said, "It's like teaching children that food is bad for you." But I'll have to go back now and tell her that it means synergy.
And that's what it is.
It's an abbreviation.
It's the whole plan works. It works if it's done right. And even as a consultant last week, I was saying that I was doing it right, and I wasn't. Because I know, and I've no hassle saying that, because I was saying that, like they say, a third speed in your plate, which is basically fruit or veg. Certain fruits are veg, and I was putting 6 pieces of lettuce on the plate, saying lots of rocket, speed, lots of rocket, loads of speed,
to that
but I wasn't. You know, like I was having 2 big sweet potatoes and then like a handful of rock, and I wasn't. Even though I was trying to convince myself I was, I wasn't. So now I'm all over this week.
Oh, well done.
Yes, we're going for this week.
And we're all going to be skinny minis now. They'll notice us fading away. Now, Natasha, you're Fashion Stylist IRL on Facebook.
Yeah.
So you're stylist to the stars and Upper Lane, and a regular stylist on TV3.
Yeah.
So you're very welcome. Very welcome to our panel.
So me as well. She's going to do me soon.
Oh,
Yeah, we were just discussing. I was like, book in, we'll sort you
No, I'm first. So obviously, a lot of women come to you for advice, for style advice. And what is the most commonly asked question by ladies that do visit?
Like, you wouldn't really get like a commonly asked question, but you would kind of get a common like feeling from people. So I suppose, so firstly say I get like both men and women coming to me for styling, and I suppose people are always like a little bit nervous at the start. Like you always get people who are like so excited about it, but then you have people who are a little bit nervous because they don't really know what's going to happen. And I think, you know, the way like when I was growing up, you had like Trini and Susanna and you know all this, and they were like busting into the dressing room and like groping people practically,
and the fear of being judged
and the
as
fear of
well.
being judged and all that. I'm like, oh, there's no judgment. Like, so I suppose that's it. You people who are a little bit nervous, and also like it's hard to make a change in yourself. So some people would be a little bit not defensive, but you know, they're like, oh, you don't want to come in and change you. And I'm always like, I'm not here to make huge changes. It's just about like suggesting things to you or showing you like what works. And it's not about like, okay, you have to buy all of this now. You know, even if somebody just was like not too sure about something, it's for me to go, okay, try it. They mightn't get it that day, but they might go away and go, okay, that looked okay. And Natasha said that looked good. And then I might get a message like a month later and they're like, I went back in now and I bought that pants and I love it. Yeah. So it's all about like gradual little changes. So it's really like, it's a 2-hour service and it's just, it is fun. Like it's nothing to be nervous about.
Nothing,
yeah.
Something to be enjoyed.
And
now you've made a huge change yourself as well in your appearance, Natasha.
Yeah. So like I've been so many different sizes and I've been down and I've been up, and I suppose I know what it's like to not be able to fit into loads of the clothes, or to have an eye for fashion and to go in and be really frustrated because what you really love, you can't find it. Exactly. And like, I think we're really lucky now that loads of the brands are bringing in like the curve range. And then, I mean, people who are really petite have that problem as well. Yeah, exactly. So we've got like the more petite. So, you know, no matter what, it can be difficult to dress for those sizes. But I personally know what it's like to be like a bigger size and to find it kind of hard to shop as well.
Of course. And a huge congratulations as well. You recently got married.
Yes. It feels like it was about 10 years ago, but it was like a few months ago. So in November. Great. So that was a real, I know everyone's like, oh, you know, the cliche, you like slim down for your wedding, but I spent the first year so we were engaged for 2.5 years, and then the first year I was like, it's grand, whatever. And then I went looking at wedding dresses, and one of my bridesmaids was there and she was taking pictures, and I looked at them afterwards and I was like, oh my God. I was like, right.
It takes a photograph, doesn't it really?
Yeah. And I always thought, oh no, this is grand, like, I look fine, whatever. And then I looked and I was like, oh no, I just didn't look right myself in the dresses. So I was like, okay, I want to give myself like time to do it, and like, a year. And I kept, just for me now, it was exercise more than anything else that really helped.
And there's something for everyone. Yeah. That's what I was saying earlier. It's like not everyone is in the word. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
And like obviously changing it a little bit, like just not having all the like the vino. And then like the, you know, because that just leads to all the snacking. So when I first started, I just didn't like drink for a few months because I had to be like, right, I sound like an alcoholic now, but you know, I was like, great.
What's that in your glass?
I think when they look at me, they don't realise that at the start of my journey, when I started in the gym, it wasn't have a life. I didn't have a life. I remember one Christmas I went through, it was the very first Christmas I started, 2012, and I had no drink that Christmas. I had no food. I didn't have a Christmas dinner. I had a Christmas Day dinner, but it was chicken and broccoli. I didn't have. I was determined. I was at my limits, and I was determined. And I think if I didn't get through that Christmas by cutting everything out, I wouldn't be where I am now.
See, alcoholism was never an issue for me. I was never much of a drinker, but I love food. There's much ways about that.
I love food. Like food is.
I love both. I love both of them. But so it was like just that Christmas. All right, everyone was like, "What is going on with her?" Because I was like, "No, I'm just being really strict now." And like that said, I've put on weight since wedding, but I'm comfortable now. I'm like I'm at a weight where I'm like, I can manage this. I still have a life.
Yes.
But then I just like I work out so that I can eat it.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
it's
that
lifestyle
kind of way.
changes.
Yeah.
Amazing
So it's-
changes,
yeah.
And how do you find dressing now, Sarah, with the weight loss? We were
just
here with
had
your
that
canary
chatting.
yellow dress last week.
Actually, I only earlier started writing a blog post on it because if someone looks at me standing up or someone looks at me now, God, you look fantastic, you look brilliant, and you do get that from people, but it's when the clothes come off.
I wish we were all,
I
we're all
know,
like that.
no, like it's really like if I did do a post before, but I want to, the post I'm working on at the minute is about how you look at someone and you'd say, oh my God, she looks amazing, and you would think that, but then even when you sit down or when I sit down, it's completely different. If I lie down, if I lie flat, it all falls, like nothing stays, everything falls, and the skin that I have, the excess skin. So I was talking to Natasha about how hard it is to dress. Like, I love your pants, but I'd never be able to wear them.
I told you.
And I was
need
like-
to introduce you to my best
I
friend.
was like,
The
oh,
toner,
you can't
the
wear
tear
them.
toner.
You need the toner. But it's
Oh, she's
just
fab.
things like, you know, a high-waisted pair of jeans and a top tucked in, wouldn't be able to, because no matter what I would do, but that's maybe me, maybe Natasha fix this problem
it's
for
all
me.
about disguising it. I even remember when I first went to my trainer and she like weighed and blah blah, and she was like, oh my God, like I was able, she was like, you disguise you make a shape for yourself.
Well, I would
with
never have seen
clothes.
you as a heavy person at all, Natasha.
Yeah.
Until you put your photographs up side by side,
Yes.
because you always dressed
Yeah,
so
you did.
appropriately, to your shape.
Yeah. And that's it. It's
But that's
all
where I even
about
struggled when I was at my heaviest, because I couldn't dress myself. And we were talking about that last week. I couldn't dress myself. And even now, people say, "Oh, I don't have great style." I just know the certain things that work, and that's what I stick to. I don't go out of the comfort zone. But it is harder to dress after. Like, people think that losing weight is the be all and end all. It is. Don't get me wrong, but there are downsides to it. Trying to get dressed now, like things, or even I would be lighter weight than some people, like even in my family, and they can pull things off that I could never. You know, even I got a beautiful dress 2 weeks ago, kind of off the shoulder dress, and I was like, oh, it's beautiful, can't wear it, put it on, just can't wear it, can't wear anything unless I've got straps, just certain things, you know what I mean? That does put a downside to it, but at the other side of it, then you just find what works for you. And
I think as well that an awful lot has to do with people's signature style, because really and truly, whether you're thin or whether you're curvy or whatever your shape is, you find something that you love.
Yeah, and that works.
Yeah.
And that works for you.
And keep at it.
And where, like, it doesn't matter about the weight loss or anything like that. Like, everyone, it's a signature style, I suppose.
Anyone can, and that's it. Like, you don't have to come to me and be like just a typical size 10. Like, you can dress any size, and everyone deserves to look good and be stylish. And no matter,
you brought up a while ago about having the curvy range now. They didn't have that when I was growing up. There was never a boohoo curvy range. But now there is. Like, that's just one brand that I would go on. I'm like, oh, they have a curvy range, and I still go on there because I still would order stuff from it. But it's mad to think that they still that they had that now, whereas they didn't have it go back a few years.
And I tell you, they didn't either. Years ago when I was growing up, I remember there was no such thing as trouser length. Do you know what I mean? Now there is today for tall people or for short people and things like that. So it's much the same as curvy.
Yeah.
Do you know, people couldn't.
Or even petite, like people who are like size 4 and size 6. Like,
it does affect people and your self-esteem as well.
And even the Tara was saying that last week, how that when she grew up, it was about because she was too thin. You know what I mean?
Of course.
But someone that was my size would have never thought about the person that was too thin. I would have been envious of the person that was too thin. Do you know what I mean? But it's just brilliant now that it's there for everyone. It's no matter
but
what
I think
shape
as well,
or
the
size.
slimmer you get, the more paranoid you get about your shape. Because at my heaviest, after my first son, I'm convinced I had body dysmorphia. Because I didn't feel fat.
I think a lot of people do have
I felt
body
great,
dysmorphia.
but I suppose the clothes were getting bigger, and they were fitting me. So you know, and my mom kept telling me, "But you're gorgeous."
Yeah.
But even you see,
I believed her.
people who are gorgeous.
But at the time,
people who are really like, I think so many people have a touch of it, or you obsess about your own area. Like, I'll have people coming to me and they're like thinking, oh, they're on about their thighs, or they're on about like this and that, and I'm like,
we all have issues, don't we?
I'm
Again,
like,
and you wouldn't see that.
Yeah, and I'm just there going, I'm telling you now, I'm looking at you, and I cannot see that. Like, it's not jumping out at me.
I get a lot of that in group as well, when people come in and they might have 7 stone to lose or 7 pounds, and the person who might have more to weigh, but going, what's she doing here? But that person is standing there going, I really only have 7 pounds and I really want to lose it. Do you know what I mean? So we do each have our own.
Yeah,
our own
everyone
things.
has their
You
own
do.
thing,
Yeah,
definitely. And you look at someone else, go, aren't they perfect? And even I see, because I style models and then people who are doing personal shopping, and you could have the most stunning model, and she will still obsess about like
Yes.
Of
Yeah.
her
course.
thighs
course.
or her bum
Yeah.
or something.
They
So
do.
we've all got
Everyone has issues.
something.
Everyone.
Everyone's got issues.
All of it.
We all have issues.
I have one more question for Pat just before we wrap up. The time is up.
Oh,
I know, such as
Every week.
live TV. There was a lady, a friend of mine actually, Mags Magella, commented on the feed
Right.
last week. She's 52 years young, beautiful
right.
dark-haired woman,
Okay.
and she wants to start modelling. So Pat, any advice?
Oh,
for Mags?
advice for anyone wanting to start modelling. There's commercial modelling, so that means that you could be any
Otherwise I'd be
height,
redundant.
you could be any shade, you can be any age. And so I would recommend commercial modelling. And what you do really, I suppose the process is to go and get some portfolio shots done. Always get black and white and get a full length shot, just one, and get an upper body shot. And send them into the various agencies around the country. Just Google model agencies, whatever, and send them in and your details from there.
Thank you, Pat.
Okay.
Ladies, thank you so much.
Hi.
Again, please continue to like, love and share. And we'll be back with you again next week. Now, in the meantime, there was a dog grooming giveaway running on the page, and the winner is Emma Quaid. So congratulations, Emma. I'm sure Patrick will be in contact with you shortly. And now we have another giveaway for next week. So it's for a fabulous steel frame gazebo, just in time for the summer. I was just going to say Christmas. I don't know what time of year I'm in.
Christmas gazebo.
So to win that, simply like, share and tag your friends underneath this video, and we'll choose a winner next week. Now, before we do finally sign off, Pat and I were involved in a fantastic fashion event at Douglas Village Shopping Centre last Saturday. I was lucky enough to MC the event alongside Brendan Courtney. Pat was one of the beautiful models on the day. It was in association with Lockdown PR. And here's some footage. So how lucky am I to be joined here by host of Douglas Village Shopping Centre's Spring 2018 collection, other than Mr. Brendan Courtney. Hello, Brendan.
Well, you're actually my co-presenter today, so
Well, yes.
stop hiding your light under a bushel. You're very
Ow,
good.
ow, ow,
So
ow,
we're
ow.
doing simultaneous fashion shows. So Sinead's doing one end of the mall, I'm doing the other end. And then we're running past each other with our models. It's
Literally.
like- it's fashion carnage. It's amazing.
Panting. No, I want to throw a few questions at you.
Go for it.
Right? I've been asked, what are the two colours to expect this spring, or that we are surrounded by this spring?
Okay, so when you get as long in the tooth as I am in fashion, people sort of go, oh wow, florals are back or pink is back. It's like when the sun comes out and we're all expecting to feel a little more optimistic about the future, super brights. So what I've seen a lot of is really acidy brights. So acid limes, like really poppy pinks, and in that you'll always have your safety blacks as well.
Of course.
But for sure I'm seeing fluoro colours. So fluoro pinks and fluoro yellows.
And of course, we have to stick with what suits us as well, don't we, to a degree?
Yeah, I think people will often find that a fluoro lime or yellow can drain Irish skin sometimes, but a pink is really good.
Yes.
It's hard for Irish skin not to be able to wear a really bright. You'd be gorgeous in bright pink. So
That's great,
I'd say,
Brendan.
you see, those beautiful blue eyes. You see, that's what it is. Irish eyes bring bright colours, pop the eyes as well, and we look good in black too.
And what do we expect for summer 2018?
Summer, well, you know what? This is really interesting as well. As a designer, when the economy is feeling more optimistic, hem lengths come up. So we're seeing a lot shorter lengths. And I would have traditionally, as a designer, preferred mid-calf or below the knee. We've designed a whole collection for summer which has lots of shorter lengths as well. So you'll see lots of shorter lengths.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And the style stakes, do you think Cork are
Oh, amazing. Cork
pushing ahead?
Cork is like California for me. It's like a style bubble. It has such great indigenous homegrown talent. It has incredible support for local boutiques, and it has a real sort of strong culture of celebrating local celebrities and what they wear. So it's actually this own sort of unique kingdom, if you like. See what I did there?
Of course, love it,
No,
love
so
it.
I'm always really blown away, and particularly by the local support for local businesses, and I think that's at the heart of Cork.
Brendan, thank you so much. It's
Thank
been
you.
an absolute
I
pleasure
love you a
today,
little
my
bit.
new, but I love you too. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm here with Emer O'Mahony, one of the directors of Lockdown PR. How proud are you, Emer, for putting this event together today?
In an age where it's all about the internet and social media and email and WhatsApp and all these endless apps, there's nothing like getting people together face to face. And with so many amazing traders here at Douglas Village Shopping Centre, there's nothing better than to get people physically down and give them an amazing day of giveaways.
To launch the spring summer collections here at Douglas Village.
Having Brendan Courtney on board today. Lucky girl to have Brendan on side.
Brendan has been a friend for about 12 years, and when Viv and I were starting out in fashion, he never ever said no to us. He always really looked after us with events and promoting the industry all over the country. So he's kind of our go-to person. Obviously, because he has his own brand, he's heavily invested in fashion. So, you know, to work with people who are very passionate about what you do, it's like surrounding yourself with your tribe.
Of
and
course.
I love doing that because you just get energy from each other and it's brilliant.
Where do you expect to see Lockdown PR in the future?
Most weeks on RTE, as you know, because
Yes.
you model as well in RTE. She's like a jack of all
everywhere.
trades. I love her. We have lots of fashion shows coming up, not just in Cork but outside, and we also run social media and marketing campaigns for businesses. It's just myself and Viv, and as you know, Viv has had her second baby. I have two as well. So the workload, we've been really doing our best to divide the workload. We've brought on quite a big team with yourself now presenting as well.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
That's
me.
Emer O'Mahony from Lockdown PR, one of the directors. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
and huge
Sinead.
congratulations on such a hugely successful
And thank
event
you for
today.
being an amazing presenter of Cork.
Of Cork.